everyone and welcome to Electrical Engineering Tutorials. In this tutorial, we explain how to compute the natural response of RL circuits. Here is the problem that we will solve in this video. Consider this electrical circuit. The electrical circuit consists of the current source IS, resistor with the resistance RS, switch S, inductor with the inductance of L, and the resistor with the resistance of R. At the time t is equal to 0, the switch has been opened. That is, before t is equal to 0, the switch was closed, and at t is equal to 0, we open the switch. Our goal is to find the voltage and the current at the terminals of the resistor R after the switch has been opened for t is greater than or equal to 0. Let's solve this problem. To solve this problem, we need to analyze the circuit for t is smaller than 0. That is, before the switch S is being opened. We have the constant current source IS. In the steady state, the current will be constant inside of this circuit and it will be equal IS over here. Let's analyze this inductor over here. Let's assume that the current flows like this. And let this current be I. Now, from the theory of inductors, we know that the voltage drop across the inductor, let's denote this voltage drop as V, is equal to V is equal to minus L, and over here we will have di over dt. That is, we will have the first derivative of the current flowing through the inductor. Here the minus sign takes into account the convention, since over here the current flow is in the direction of the voltage. That's why we have the minus sign over here. Now, the current obviously through this circuit in the steady state is constant. This means that di over dt is equal to 0. Consequently, the voltage drop across the terminals of this inductor will be equal to 0. This means that the potential of this point, or better to say the voltage potential of this point and the voltage potential of this point, are equal. And consequently, we don't have any current through this resistor over here. This is very important to keep in mind. And as well as over here, since the potential of this point is equal to potential of this point, and the potential of this point is equal to potential of this point, we will also have a 0 voltage drop through this resistor, and consequently the current will not be flowing through RS. From this analysis, we conclude that in the steady state of this circuit, the current is actually equal to IS. Let's now analyze what happens at t is equal to 0. At t is equal to 0, we open this switch S, and consequently, this part of the circuit doesn't affect anymore this part of the circuit over here. Initially, at t is equal to 0, the current flow through this inductor L was like this. And its value, that is I of 0, is equal to I of S. And this is very important to keep in mind. That is, we have just discovered the initial condition for the current through this inductor L. This will help us to compute the natural response. And consequently, for t is greater than or equal to 0, our circuit will look like this. That is, we will only have the right-hand side of this circuit. We will have the current I flowing like this, and then we will have the resistor over here and the current flowing through this resistor. Over some time, this current will decrease due to the fact that resistor R will dissipate the energy. And our goal is to find I as well as the voltage across this resistor as functions of time. To summarize, for t greater than or equal to 0, our circuit looks like this. And let's compute the current and voltage as functions of time. First of all, the voltage across resistor will be denoted by V. Obviously, this voltage is current through resistor multiplying the resistance. On the other hand, we also have a voltage across the inductor. So let's denote this voltage as Vi. Following the convention, Vi is equal to minus the inductance multiplying the first derivative of the current. Obviously, V should be equal to Vi, and consequently we have I multiplying R should be equal to minus L di dt. And consequently we obtain an ordinary differential equation describing the dynamics of this circuit. It looks like this. L di over dt is plus R multiplying I should be equal to 0. And that's it. The same differential equation can be obtained by using the Kirchhoff law. Then, let's remember or let's recall the initial condition. The initial condition is I of 0 is equal to Is. Let's solve these differential equations. There are at least two approaches to solve it. One approach is to integrate this differential equation, and the second approach is to use the Laplace transform. In this video tutorial, I will be directly integrating this equation. So let's do that. First of all, to integrate this equation, let's write it again in its first form. That is, let's write it like this. Here I'm just moving the term Ri to the right hand side. And then I can separate the variables. I can do this, L di, and then I can take this I and put it in the denominator on the left hand side. Then over here I have I, and on the right hand side I have minus R multiplying dt. Further, I can write this equation like this. Di over I is equal to minus R over L dt. And next I can integrate this equation. Let's integrate this equation. I can write an integrals like this. Taking the integral of the left hand side, I obtain integral of di over I is equal to minus R over L, and integral from, or let's not substitute the bounds still, integral of dt. And let's now substitute the bounds. Here I'm integrating from I of time is equal to 0 to I of certain time t. And over here on the right hand side, I'm integrating from 0 time to some time t. Let's solve these integrals and let's substitute the bounds. Integral of di over I is obviously an ln function of I, and over here we have the bounds. So let's put the bounds from I of 0 to I of t. And on the right hand side we obviously have minus R over L, and we have t, and let's put the bounds from 0 to t. So let's see what do we have on the left hand side. We have ln of I of t, let's denote it like this, and then we have minus ln of I of 0, and this is equal to minus R over L multiplying time. We can write this equation like this. ln, the difference of two ln function can be written as a ratio. Consequently, here I'm going to use these brackets, square brackets, and I can write this term like this. And then over here I will have I of 0. And then on the right hand side I will still have minus R over L. And over here I have time. Now, let's solve this equation. Obviously, I of t over I of 0 is actually the exponential function of minus r over L multiplying t. Here I have the exponential function, since the exponential function is the inverse of the ln function. And consequently, here is our final expression for the current through the circuit, and it's equal to I of 0 multiplying e to the power minus r over L t. And this is the final expression. Let us now substitute the initial condition. So we have I of t is equal to Is, since the initial condition is equal to Is, e to the power minus r over L t. And that's the final expression. Next, let's find the voltage. We know that the voltage drop across the resistor is simply V is equal to the current through the resistor multiplying the R. Consequently, we need to multiply this expression by R. And V of t becomes the current is Is e to the power minus RL t, so we can simply multiply this by R and we obtain R multiplying Is e to the power minus R over LT. Let's sketch the time diagram of I of t. To do that, I will sketch x and y axis over here. Here on the x-axis, I will place t, and on the y-axis, I will place I of t. Let's see what's happening over here. When t is equal to 0, this whole expression is equal to 1, and consequently, I of 0 is I of s, which means that we start from here. That is, at 0, the current value in the system will be Is. And let's see what's happening over time. The exponential function is a decreasing function of time, and consequently over here we will have a decreasing value of current. That is, we will have this behavior of current. And when time goes to infinity, the current will go to 0. And that's it. We have successfully computed the time response of the current in our circuit. That's all for today, and see you in the next video tutorial.